Hi friends, I'm off to a counter protest tomorrow, and I figured it's on my mind, so let's talk about protest. Why protest? What's the point? What do I get out of it? Why do I care? And why am I going back to a protest? Because, like, a couple months ago I got arrested at one. Um, and I think I want to start with the context of I live in the city I live in because of the protest scene here. A few years back, there was a really significant protest, like landmark in my country, that happened in this city. And it was just before I moved here, because at the time I was living in a different city that was a lot smaller and a lot less interesting, and not very much happened there. And that made it a great university to go. University made it a great city to go to university in. Because the university was the main social scene. It was sort of built for students, not built for students, but like a lot of it revolves around the university there. Um, but once I'd graduated and I had a job and we'd like just left lockdowns, I realized that my city didn't have very much going on in it, which at the time I was starting to really like radicalize, leave my sort of liberal ish bits behind me. And that's when this major protest happened. And I figured I have a work from home job. I want to get out of the city I'm in. Let's go. So I moved here. And I'm really grateful for it. And I just say that as a sign that, like, I have believed in protest. Protest is a thing that matters to me. And why? Why does protest matter? Like, what am I trying to achieve? Because it's, you go out on the streets and you make a lot of noise and you disrupt a lot of cars and there's a lot of shouting and, you know, depending on how it goes, people might get beaten up. And to be clear, I go in for peaceful protest. Not particularly because I'm a pacifist. Um, Obviously, if there are any feds watching, I am a peaceful person. I do not intimidate, harass, harm anyone. I'm going out tomorrow to like make some noise, to support the side that I'm on, which is explicitly the anti-racist side, and to make sure that the voices that say that we support Palestine, that we support queer rights, we support immigrants coming into the country. I support Muslims, Jews, the full diaspora. I want to make sure the voices on that side are louder than the voices on the other who say some quite horrible things. That's my intention. Why do I think it matters? Why do I think it makes a big deal? And I think it's because what a protest represents, what a good protest represents, like at its core, is a threat. Not like a specific threat, and not to anyone in particular, but it's difficult. It's really difficult to get people to do things. Like, it's hard to get people to click a button on a website. It's really hard to get people to, take any form of action at all. It's really hard to get hundreds of people onto the streets moving at the same time in a coordinated way with intentionality, especially people who have no immediate incentive to do so. So when that does happen, it's a sign that there is a good reason to listen to what they have to say, because they are doing something really difficult. I think it's why the counter-protest really matters to me, because if it's left unchecked, if the protesters against immigration, because there are a lot of them. If you follow British news, which I'm so sorry if you do, there's a lot of people in this country that don't, that do at least like loudly talk about their dislike of immigration. Which, if anything, means that maybe threat's the wrong word, the promise of action from their side needs to be outnumbered by the promise of action from ours. And that's why I go out there. I go out there to be peaceful because I want to make it clear that if push came to shove, if I had to defend my neighbours and my community and my values, I would be out there as well anyway. I look forward to the protest tomorrow. I will probably make my next video from the streets afterwards. If I don't upload tomorrow, probably just assume that I've forgotten. But we do have a precedent that being arrested counts as a acceptable exclusion to uploading a video. If you sat through this far, the last thing I wanted to say is I'm quite stubbly today. I'm actually gonna zoom in. It's really quite dysphoric to record these videos with facial hair, because I know that I don't have any intention of like taking videos down ever. So I know this sort of record's going to be there of me with facial hair. But I really want to shave tomorrow morning, and I can't really shave more than once every 24 hours or else it really irritates my skin, and then instead of having stubble I have a red rash in a beard shape, which is equally dysphoric and kind of a lot more annoying. So I'm letting it ride for now, and I am calling it out just because if I shaved before every video I recorded, I would maybe be selling this idea that there gets to a point where you stop, like early on, 3 months in, where you stop having facial hair. And it's not true. For me. And it's not true for everyone. Some people have very fine facial hair anyway. I've had 3 laser appointments. It does keep happening. If I let it be, I will grow a patchy but fairly convincing beard. If you are a trans woman, especially if you're early transition, it's okay. Like, testosterone does this. We get facial hair. You're no less fat, like, you're no less woman. I'm no less woman because I've got this facial hair. Frankly, anything that would invalidate my womanhood that could be removed with 5 minutes with some shaving cream and my razor is just not strong enough to change a fundamental truth about myself. Alright. Acknowledgement of dysphoria over. I never expected this to be a 10-minute video. I thought I didn't have enough to say today, but apparently I'm in a rambly mood. I love you very much, friends. I will talk to you tomorrow. I will enjoy protesting tomorrow. And I look forward to seeing you then.